Hey, Matt Webley here, and welcome to How to Launch Your First AI SaaS Business Step by Step for Beginners. This is a free course. Read the disclaimer. If you're wondering who I am, I've done 8 figures in software as a service. I've done another 8 figures selling other stuff online before that. I've been basically selling online for my whole adult life, over 23 years now, and I'm here to share some of my experiences with you. So let's get started. So what is AI SaaS? Well, software as a service is a subscription-based online software. So people sign up to your software, and then the software, they use it in the cloud, online, via a browser, via an app, whatever. And that is the product that you kind of provide, or service if you like. So think Zoom, Canva, Shopify. These are huge companies with crazy revenues, but they're examples of software as a service that maybe you've used or you've heard of. There's tons of smaller niche SaaS players making 10K to 100K per month, me included. My very niche software as a service tools do 6 figures per month. Now, traditionally, you needed deep pockets, high-level coding knowledge, or access to it, and lots of time and patience to build software as a service. And it could take years to build some software as a service, and hundreds of thousands of dollars before you even knew if you could sell it. Now, I made over $12 million the old way with traditional SaaS, employing human beings. But AI SaaS is the software as a service business model that I've been in for the last 8+ years, but built with AI and AI agents and zero human code. And if you're wondering if this is possible, it really is. Like, you can build software now that you can sell online using just AI, no devs needed. So AI SaaS, or vibe coding as some people call it, will massively disrupt the SaaS industry over the next few years. Millionaires will be made in AI SaaS, and the question is, will you be one? So let's talk about the AI SaaS opportunity a little bit more. So the power of SaaS is that the business model is in high demand, right? It's insatiable demand, and it's growing year on year. And it's really sticky, right? What do I mean by that? It's got recurring revenue. So we refer to it in the industry as MRR, so monthly recurring revenue. And it's very, very scalable. So as you add customers this month, they add on to the customers you had last month. And the customers you add the month after add on to the customers that you got this month and that month. So it can really, really, really grow. And it's just as easy to service 1,000 customers as it is to service 100 customers, relatively speaking. So you can also run it from anywhere in the world, and it's mostly passive income once it's set up, which can grow without you having to actively do anything. You're not selling your time for money. You're not dealing with red flag clients or anything like that. They sign up. I'll go on to the next bullet. Sales happen 24/7 and usually driven by free trials, which means it's really easy sell, and there is insatiable demand for good, simple SaaS that solves one problem really well. Perfect for building with AI pretty quickly, within a few weeks. So, plus as you build up monthly recurring revenue, your exit value increases, because investors love software as a service business model because of the faceless passive income that is predictable and can grow over time. So you can sell your software as a service business once you've established it for like it's not unheard of. It's very regular to sell for up to like 60 times monthly profit. Now, if your costs are less than $100 a month because you're using AI and not human devs, and it's hosted by the AI agent company and stuff, then essentially you could have some software making you 10, 20K a month that costs you $100, $200 to run. So if you did 20K, if you got your SaaS to 20K, if you do 20K, $20,000 a month times 60, you can see how, I mean, I'm not going to do it on the fly, but you can see how potentially you could have not just build up a massive cash flow in business using AI, but also flip it for an amazing exit value. One of my friends and AI coaches that works with me, he actually sold his I think it was 60 times monthly profits. He actually got that on the open market for his micro SaaS. So it's not just something that some people do. It's something that a lot of people do. So what are the pros and cons of AI SaaS versus traditional SaaS? Well, AI SaaS, building it with AI and AI agents, the new way, doesn't need any coding knowledge or access to human devs. None at all. You can now build it, debug it, deploy it, host it, everything with zero tech knowledge, which means AI SaaS cost-based is next to nothing compared to traditional SaaS where cheap devs, and I say that cheap like that, can cost 50k per year, and you'd usually need more than one. So typically speaking, in my SaaS companies, we have at least a 2-person team. So if each of those devs cost you 50k, and they might be working from somewhere like Ukraine or somewhere like Turkey, you're not talking about top tier US level coders. They could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. But like, so 50k for a cheap dev, that's decent. You'd have two, so that's 100k a year just in dev costs, and then you've got server costs, you've got other costs on top. So yeah, can get really expensive the old way. But AI SaaS, right, is 100 to 1,000 times faster to develop. It's way faster. I can't even describe how fast it is compared to using human devs. And honestly, 1,000 to 10,000 times cheaper to develop and easier to develop. So now you can use natural language. You just talk English to your AI agent and it builds the software really quick, right? And if you don't like what it's done, you tell it. If there's a bug, you tell it. And usually speaking, within 1 or 2 attempts, maybe telling it in different ways, it will usually fix bugs, it will build features, and it actually becomes a really addictive process. It's actually fun. So it's taken the technical barrier of building software as a service out of it with AI and AI agents. Now you can do it as a 1-person business, just you, faceless, build passive income, no human devs needed, right? It's crazy. But it does have some limitations. So reality is right now, as of making this video, you won't be cloning Canva. So if you've ever used Canva, it's like a marketer's dream for design. Like you can create images that you can use in your social media marketing and things like that. And it's a very popular tool. A lot of people use it because it's really intuitive, it's really powerful, and it's all browser-based. It's a browser-based SaaS product. You're not going to be cloning that with AI. You're just not. Maybe one day, but not right now. Or something like Wix, which is, I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's a web page builder. So you can build it in the browser. So you can open up your browser window, drag, drop, type into the screen, and it builds websites. So that's Wix, which is also software as a service. But you're not going to be cloning those two things at the moment, but you will be able to in the future, but not for a while yet, at least on the current trajectory. Who knows? But like, we're not talking about that kind of SaaS. We're not talking about crazy high level stuff. We're talking about stuff that maybe a small business in a very specific niche might use to help them run their business. Like a gym personal trainer might have some software to help manage their clients, collect payments, things like that. Or maybe you've got a window cleaning business, right? And you need, again, you need some software that maybe communicates with your customers, maybe follows up for payments, sets appointments, things like that. Like these niche tools that business owners use are perfect examples of SaaS that you could clone in weeks. Really easily with no code, just using 100% natural language. But there's lots of examples like it. So you don't need venture capital budgets to launch, and you can build AI SaaS yourself in a few days, weeks, or months. So that's the pros and cons of it. Basically, there isn't many cons to the AI SaaS right now. Most of the cons are human-based SaaS, but obviously the one major con is if you want to build the next Facebook, right now you'd struggle with the current AI agents to do that. I'm just being honest. But like 95% of the software as a service out there, you could clone it with AI. So what's my recommended AI tech stack? So the truth is AI is in a constant arms race. It's moving at the speed of light, and things change fast in the AI space. All of the different LLMs, which are large language models, these are things like ChatGPT. agents, agentic browsers, and other AI tools are fighting to be number one. I do have a preferred tech stack that I use and my clients use, but it might well change within literally hours, days, or weeks of me putting this course out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link down the current tech stack that we use below this video, because I could talk about get this, get that. In fact, I did it. I had a bunch of one-to-one clients that I walked through building an AI SaaS business from start to finish, the idea, building it, launching it, everything, the entire thing, start to finish. And by the time I'd taught them the first kind of module, if you like, of planning and setting up their AI tech stack, by week 2 or week 3, I think I changed the tech stack. It's moving that quick. So I'm going to link it down below because this is obviously a video. I can't update the video, but I can update those links. So I will do that. Now, it typically consists of one LLM, large language model. Now, that might be ChatGPT, or it could be Claude, or it could be Grok, or it could be Gemini, whatever. I'm not biased on LLMs. You can use whatever. There's even tools that give you access to all of them. Again, all the links down below for what my current tech stack recommended AI tech stack is. But you want one LLM usually, maybe 2, and you want one AI agent. Now, the ones that we typically use are very, 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 very low cost. But this tech stack could change as things evolve, so I'll update it as and when. So I'll make sure those links below are up to date. Now is the time to pause this video and go get access to my recommended tools and then come back. So go pause the video, go get the tools. You're going to need them. You might already have one or two. Like, for example, you can use ChatGPT or you can use Claude as your LLM. So you probably already got one of those things if you're watching this. And the other thing is you're going to need an AI agent that actually builds the software. So go pause the video, go do that, and hopefully you're back. Right, well done. So one LLM and one AI agent to rule the world. Typically speaking, you'll need one LLM, let's say ChatGPT or Claude. Use my recommended one in the links below, as it'll be the best tool right now. Usually the affiliate commissions are absolutely tiny, non-existent or minuscule on this. And I know for the AI agent that I have been recommending people use, again, check the links for the current one, but the AI agent that I've been recommending people use, Replit, I think right now they give $10 to me in usage credits. They don't even give me any money, and they give $10 to you for using my link. So you get something, I get something, but that's it. It's a one-time $10 usage. So I can't even buy a cup of coffee with it. Literally, I can only use it within the software. So please don't think that I'm only recommending this stuff for affiliate commissions. I've seen other people recommend tools that pay much higher commissions for the commissions. That's not what this is about. This is about giving you the best, okay? So you'll need one LLM and you'll need one AI agent. At the time of writing, my recommended agent and the agent I'm going to be using for this course is Replit. But check the links below to make sure that I've not changed that, because things are changing all the time. So you're going to use the LLM as your coach, your mentor, your assistant, your advisor, your high-level team member. It's literally going to be everything to you, and it's going to deliver massive value to you. If you're using your LLM right now as like Google 2.0, if you like, just asking it questions, you are not using it to its full capabilities. What we're doing is we're bouncing off it, and we're having the agent bounce off it as well. So the agent might tell us something, and then we'll get a second opinion by putting what the agent said to us, the AI agent that builds the software said to us, into the LLM. Getting the LLM's opinion and then going back to the agent and saying, this is what the LLM thinks. And it's this weird little kind of unique way of working with the AI and the AI agent that is really, really, really powerful in a way you can't imagine. So the AI agent will understand your software, the code, the features better than you do, right? It's coded it, right? So as long as it works the way you want it to, it understands it. So if you want to write an email to somebody to talk to them about getting their access to their API, which is just like, in this case, like a data API, it will just give you superpowers for your AI SaaS. You can literally get your Replit agent to write an email in context of your software. Do you know what I mean? And like, the power of this stuff is really, really, really good. So you want one LLM, maybe two, but definitely one, and you want one agent, which in this case, for this example of this course, it's going to be Replit. So yeah, LLM's everything. It's your coach, your mentor, everything, right? And your AI agent is like your coding and UI or user interface design team. So your software, what your customers will see on the screen, and when they click something or enter something and it does stuff, the AI agent, in this case Replit, is going to be the one that codes all of that. So it's going to code you a front end and it's going to code you a back end. So the front end is what the user sees, and the back end is all the logic and the code that goes on behind the scenes. So the AI agent's going to do that stuff, and your LLM is just going to be kind of like your bouncing off it, assistant, business partner, everything rolled into one. So between the two, you've essentially got access to it's like having access to 1,000 high-level senior coders at your fingertips, and high-level business consultants within the LLM. So this is your power team in the LLM, and the AI agent is all you're going to need. Between them, they are an absolute powerhouse and could enable you to make disgusting amounts of money. I'm going to say this a bunch of times during this course, but earnings disclaimer, I'm not promising any pennies at all. I don't know if it's illegal for me to do so, but I'm definitely not going to do that, because I can't click the buttons. I can't make you do it. If you don't do it, you'll never make any money. But if you're an action taker and you actually do this stuff, you can become one of the current modern day disruptors. You can disrupt the software as a service industry by building what used to take years and hundreds of thousands of dollars in a few weeks or a couple of months, costing a few $100s. So the question is then, what SaaS should I create? Well, let's pick a niche and a profitable problem to solve. So there's two main ways, and this course is obviously a free course for YouTube. So I'm not trying to make this kind of like super in-depth, super high level. This is my aim to get you results and get you results fast and help you understand things fast. Okay, so there's two main ways that I recommend coming up with what software to create. Method number one is, and some people will only do this, and it causes procrastination, it causes real problems in a lot of people, but they just want to create something unique. Now, I don't recommend unique, but if you're going to go the unique route, you can do that. So create a unique software as a service. You either find something you have interest in, knowledge about, or experience, and try to intersect that natural advantage by coming up with a unique idea. This is hard. You can bounce off the LLMs, but they've got a tendency to tell you what you want to hear, and they've got a tendency to lie to you. They call it hallucinations, but they've got a tendency to lie to you. So it might say, oh yeah, you've come up with something unique, and the reality is, with a simple Google search, you'll actually find competitors that do that unique thing that it was promising you was super unique in just one of their features, right? So if you have a natural, like you've been in a certain industry for years, or you've got a certain hobby, or you run a certain business, or you work in a certain like niche, and you understand that there's a problem there that could be solved by automating it away, or saving time, saving money, making money. If there's a problem unique to a specific micro niche that you understand inherently, because you've been working in it forever, or you're interested in it, or you've got deep knowledge or expertise in it, then absolutely go for it. You can build stuff in AI in a few weeks. So worst case scenario, you learn a skill set, you try to create your unique idea, it doesn't work out for you, boo-hoo, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and you go again, you pivot and you go again. But if you don't have a unique idea that you're dead certain is going to be good, and you spend the next, say, 24 hours trying to think of one and you can't come up with it, then I suggest for most people, 90% of the people watching this, you want to go for method 2, which is what I call the CID or CID, clone, improve, dominate method. So what do you do with this? You find a micro niche, right? We're not talking fitness, you're talking under that, like so maybe personal trainers, and then personal trainers that work from home, and then maybe personal trainers that work online. Like, you want to go a few steps below. That might not be the best example, but don't think broad level, think a few levels down, okay? a few levels deep into it, and find established SaaS competition in that niche where maybe there's already 2, 3, 4, 5 main competitors. I wouldn't go any more than that. If you can find 30 competitors, then you're not micro niched enough. But if you can find 2 or 3 decent tools selling in that space, maybe 4 or 5 maximum, this proves the demand. And I'm not one of these people that suggest that if someone else is doing it, you can't do it. No, quite the opposite. That's a good sign. If there's 3, 4, 5 development teams working on projects in that space, then it's right for you to come along and use the clone, improve, dominate technique that I'm going to show you in a minute. So you find something micro niched down, 2 or 3 main competitors doing something similar, and then we do something. I'll come to it in a minute. But so just going back onto the coming up with a unique SaaS idea is hard, and usually not what I can recommend. It makes starting your SaaS incredibly difficult unless you already have an idea and leads to procrastination, and no guarantees you aren't wasting your time. Upside of unique is that if it does work, you do have first mover advantage. You're first to market, you'll make a splash because of that. Now, a better idea, if it must be unique, is to iterate on something out there already, essentially creating a new version of something that has come before and has a proven market. So instead of trying to come up with this brand new unique idea that no human being in the 8 billion human beings or however many we've got, no human being in the planet has ever, in the history of the internet, in the history of software as a service, nobody's ever thought of that idea, right? That's not easy. That's really difficult. Now, if you essentially go, all right, what I talked about before, find a micro niche where it's got 3, 4, 5 main competitors, and then go, all right, I'm going to create something in that niche that serves a similar customer avatar or solves a similar problem, but in a totally unique way. Perfect example of this would be Superhuman AI, which is what I use for my emails. Email has been around since the dawn of the internet, right? But they've come up with this really jazzy interface whereby it makes, it slightly gamifies the process, adds AI to the reply process a little bit, and uses your keyboard shortcuts to file your email. So you press E to essentially, you don't delete emails in Superhuman, you press E and it gets rid of it out of your inbox and just files it somewhere, right? This is a unique approach to an existing problem. So the AI is not that super unique. The keyboard shortcuts kind of is unique, and that's the unique bit about a really non-unique thing, which is email, dealing with email. So it's a unique way to solve a problem that's already been being solved by people for a long time, right? So a new version, hopefully that makes sense. But unless you get an idea right for a unique SaaS within 24 hours of trying to come up with it, I'd recommend you do the SID approach. Don't bother keep trying to come up with some unique idea, because honestly, you'll be here 3 months from now and ChatGPT or whatever LLM you're using will be lying to you, telling you, oh, that's amazing, that's the best unique idea I've ever heard of. And then you're going to come to somebody like me on a coaching call. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to like, that's not unique. And I'm going to find it within 10 seconds, which I've done time and time again. So please don't rely on the LLMs for ideas, okay? If you can't come up with an idea in 24 hours, go to method 2, or you'll procrastinate and you won't create some software. So here's my winning formula, the SID formula, right? And this is what I think most people watching this should do. It's called clone, improve, and dominate, right? So what you do is you go into a micro niche, you find 3, 4, 5 competitors in that space, and then you look for their 5 main core features that are shared amongst them all. So if you've got 3 tools in a space, let's stick with 5. You've got 5 tools in a space. All 5 of them, if they're serving the same customer avatar, the same market, all 5 of them will have the same core features shared amongst them. They might do it slightly differently, but they'll all have those same 5 features. For you to compete in that space, you can't not have those features. So some coaching clients I've worked with in the past thought that they would leave out those things that the other competition are doing, and create unique features in the space, and only the unique features. No, to compete in that space, you have to solve the same problems that they're solving. So if they've got 5 core main features, you have to clone all 5 core main features. I don't mean copy them exactly. You can put your own spin on them. You should put your own spin on them in your own unique way, absolutely. But you're gonna have to clone those core 5 features, or you're not gonna be able to compete in that space. So you clone the 5, and then you add one USP. Now a USP, coming up with a unique SaaS is hard. Coming up with a unique feature for a SaaS is relatively easy, and it is something that you can bounce off the LLMs for ideas if you can't come up with something yourself. So ideally, you're going into a space, you're cloning the 5 main core features, and you're adding 1 or 2 USPs to those software. So then eventually, essentially, you've got the same feature set as the competition that are proven. If they've got development teams that are earning their living from maintaining those SaaS, then there's money in that space, right? So you get the features that they've proven the demand for and that you have to use to compete with, and then you add a unique selling point to stand out, right? So a unique selling point feature. So you've got the 5 core features, plus you'll have a few other little bits and bobs, at least after your minimum viable product. So MVP is what we're building. But the MVP is just the starting point, something that's saleable, right? So we're aiming for MVP. After that, you might clone all their tiny features as well. That's cool, but clone the first 5, the main 5, add 1 or 2 USP features. And then what we're going to do is if we can, we're going to 2 times the trial. So I should say 2x trial. 2 times the trial. So if they've got 7-day trials, we'll do 14-day free trials. If they've got 14-day free trials, we'll do 30-day free trials, right? If they've got 30-day free trials, we're probably not going to do a 60-day free trial. You could, but it's a long time to go without money, and they've been with you 2 months before you get paid. I think a 30-day free trial is probably where you want to cap it out usually, but we're going to 2 times the free trial. If they're already at 30 days, we'll leave ours at 30 days. That's cool. And then you can go into the market at half the price, right? Now, the goal should not be to make the cheapest software out there. I'm not saying that you should get into some race to the bottom, because honestly, a year from now, you might have a competitor that goes, well, I'm just going to half their price. And then where does it end, right? I'm not suggesting that. But what you can do is you can go into a market and say half the price of the cheapest one, because you have no cost base. You're using AI, you're not using human devs. And it's very difficult for them to compete with you, because if they halved their price to match you on price, well, what are they going to do it for their existing customer base? What if they've got 2,000 customers? They're going to half the revenue, which probably doesn't mean that their business model stacks up with their cost base. So just trust me on it, and we'll talk about this more later in the course. Clone 5 plus 1 USP times 2 trial times 0.5 price equals dollars. This is going to be your winning formula, that you're going to use AI to clone SaaS already out there in the marketplace, add a unique feature or 2, tweak a few bits, and then you go to market with something very, very compelling that a lot of people are going to see a lot of value in. This is the winning formula. Don't overcomplicate this. This is my gift to you, one of the many gifts I'm going to give you during this free course, but hopefully it makes sense. So I'm also going to give you a SaaS competitor research prompt. I might have to move my head a little bit. Okay, so use this prompt in your favorite LLM. Now, a caveat that AI's information will not always be accurate. Nothing beats manually doing this. So what this prompt is for, it's to give you an idea of the landscape of competitors in your micro niche that you've picked. So let's say you have gone into a space with 5 competitors. This will show you what they're doing and answer a bunch of the questions for you, like based on things like what's the names of the websites, their 1-sentence positioning or USP, the pricing model, their main features summarized. So we're going to use this to generate a very quick, very easy essentially landscape of the competition, right? So you're going to see who's out there in your space, and then we're going to use the results of that prompt again in a minute in another prompt. Now, I don't know if this is going to be copy and pasteable for you. Maybe I'll put it down below the video, maybe I won't. But all you need to do is screenshot this and drop this into your LLM and just say, transcribe me this prompt. And it will just take that prompt and it'll put into text for it. Okay, so you don't need to worry about anything. Just do that. Okay. Right. So use this prompt, and this will give you the competition in the space. Now, you should also, if you're doing this properly, you should manually do this process, because some of the information that LLM is going to give you is going to be out of date. It's going to be, some of it might be scraped from the internet, from different websites, and not perfectly accurate. And the proper way to do this is to deep dive, even set up free trials of your competitors. Like, actually understand what they're offering, actually understand what they do. Look through the sales letters, look through their actual software. Like I say, start a free trial, click around, understand it, see what's good, see what's bad. Like, deep dive into this. But lazy way, because I know most people watching this are going to prefer the lazy route. Screenshot this, drop it into your LLM, and use that prompt, and then just enter the niche where it says niche. Hopefully you can see my pointer where it says niche. Enter the niche there. Okay. If you can combine what you know or you are interested in with the CID method, you win. So then take the results of that prompt. So this prompt, the SaaS competitor research prompt, which is going to tell you about your competition and their features, drop it into this prompt. Let me move my ad. Drop it into this prompt, right? So this, same again, screenshot it. Now you can either enter your niche there, or you can just put this prompt into the same thread, if you like. So where you put that prompt, selecting me. Let me try again. Where you put this prompt into your LLM and it gave you the results because you entered the niche there. And when it says niche, enter as much information if you want there. It doesn't have to be just niche. Enter, like, be descriptive there. And then so you'll get results. You'll get the LLM respond to this prompt. Then I want you to, in the same thread, use this prompt. So using the competitor research results for the SaaS niche, create a full product requirements document. So this is to create a PRD, right? So a PRD is what we're going to use to drop into the AI agent Replit in the case of this course. So we're going to get this prompt. So we do the competitor. So we come up with an idea. We do the competitor analysis with that prompt there. And then in the same thread, we get it to create a PRD, a product requirements document, with this prompt. What that's going to give you is everything you need to drop into your AI agent, Replit, to build out your software, right? And you're going to see it building in real time. It's like magic. It's scary. It's quite amazing. You'll love it. But this prompt will do that. So combine the two prompts and you're off to the races. Now, if you're struggling with that, you don't like that process, whatever, then you can use my free tool where you just answer 6 questions, 6 simple questions, and it will create your PRD for you. So if you struggled to follow along with what I just said, doing it the AI manual way, which is not manual at all, it's super AI, super easy. If I've overcomplicated it, my apologies. But if I have, and if you're really struggling to follow along, go to this page, mattwebley.com/blueprint. I built this tool with AI. It asks you 6 questions, and it will build you a simple PRD that will build out your software. You're going to have to iterate on it. A lot of people overcomplicate the PRD process. A lot of people are obsessed with planning and drawing things out. I want you to get quick results, and I want you to see how easy this is to do, not overcomplicate things, not drag you into the kind of nitty-gritty of everything when you don't need it, right? So go to mattwebley.com/blueprint and you can use my free tool, and that will create you a PRD that you can literally download and put into Replit. So then once you've got your PRD, so you've come up with a niche and idea, you've done a competitor research using that prompt or manually, you've then used my other prompt to create you a PRD, and now I want you to take that PRD and I want you to put it into your AI agent of choice. Again, if I'm using a different agent, use that agent. This process will be the same. If I'm not, use Replit. Replit's awesome. As of the time of making this video, I'm really glad that I went all in on Replit, even though other people were promoting other AI agents. Replit is awesome, right? Can't recommend it enough. And all you do is you get that PRD, so you copy and paste the PRD, and then see where it says in the screen here, describe the idea you want to build. You paste the PRD into there. It will go into a little box, and then you click that button, start chat. It will start building your software for you in front of your eyes. And that's all I want you to do for this module, this part of the course. That's it. You've come up with an idea. You've planned the features of that idea. You've created a PRD. You've looked at the competitors. You've created a PRD and you've put it into Replit and you've hit go. You are on your way to a genuine real life SaaS business, right? This is it. This is the journey. You're on that journey with me for free. So this is your milestones for this part 1, okay? If you're following along with this course, which you really, really should. Do not leave this opportunity on the table. 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you will look back and kick yourself if you do. When times have changed, the window's closed, and you could have secured your spot in a niche and made a bunch of money, maybe flipped out of your software and made hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more. And you'll kick yourself if you don't do it. So follow along. I'm making it as easy as possible. So step 1 essentially is open accounts and get access to your AI tech stack. You want at least 1 LLM and 1 agent. Links are down below for the ones that I'm using currently. Find a niche and problem you're going to solve, ideally with interest or experience in that space. Obviously, I want you to also look at your competition and then decide on your 5 main-ish main core features for your MVP, your minimum viable product, plus 1 or 2 unique selling point features. So find your niche, look at your competition, clone their feature set, add 1 or 2 unique selling point features, and then I want you to create your PRD using the LLM, using the prompts I've given you, and then put your PRD into AI agent Replit. Done. That's it. Part 1 done, and you're on the way to building some real software. You don't have to do anything after that. Close your computer. You did good until the next time. So congratulations. Awesome. If you even made it this far into the video, never mind actually followed along. But to get this far, it means you are an action taker. So you should be proud of yourself. Most people, with 37 minutes into this video, most people would not have made it this far, and you did. This suggests to me that you have got what it takes to succeed with your own AI SaaS business. You've got to think, in a world of TikTok and these short form content, most people have got like a 2-second attention span. If you sat 37 minutes into this first video, you should be proud. So to let me know you got this far, leave a comment down below. It will help me get out there with this video, but it also let me know that you're actually paying attention, and let me know that you're the serious people are. So telling me what you thought to this course so far. You can just say something like, this course is awesome, I'm loving it so far, if that's true. But leave a comment. I don't care what the comment is, but at the very least, just put loving the course or awesome or something like that. It'll encourage me to keep going and put a lot of effort into this. I spent a lot of time building out these slides to try and make this as easy as possible for you to follow along. And I want to do that for the rest of the course. The more love I get on this stuff, the more likely I am to put my heart and soul into it. But regardless, I'm going to release part 2 of this free course within 24 hours of getting 20 comments or 20 likes. So what's in it for you? If you want to follow along, if you're enjoying the course and you want me to put out part 2 quicker, because obviously I've got businesses to run, I've got life to lead. I'm not just here to build you a free course for YouTube. Like, I've got other stuff to do. But if you want me to rush that, if you not rush it as in make it bad, but rush it as in get the next part out, then I will prioritize it as soon as I've got 20 comments and 20 likes, right? So if you're interested in, also one last thing, if you're interested in having me work with you live on building, launching and scaling your own SaaS business using AI, check out the links below to book a call. I might even have some extra free training down there. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you next time in part 2 or on my next video. Cheers.